Hey guys, so I was asked about the cold exposure therapy that I spoke about a few months ago, and now that the weather is so beautiful and sunny in the mountains of Judea in the summertime, what do I do now to experience the cold and all of the benefits of it? So I just wanted to show you what I've been doing for the last, I guess, 3 months or so. So come check this out. This is our man cave. This is my office down here below. And so when the sun started heating up the natural water around here, I started taking cold showers. But then I realized that the cold showers, although they were quite great, the water up here on the mountain just doesn't get that cold because the pipes are not that deep underground, and the water just, it's cold, but it's not cold enough. So what I did was, do you see this? What looks like a table is actually a lying freezer. And so I got this freezer online here in Israel. I think the price was probably about $300. And so what I did was I lined the freezer here to make it waterproof, filled it with water, and now, yeah, that's cold. And so if you see right here, we call this a Shabbos clock. Well, normal people call it a timer, and it goes on at about 1 o'clock in the morning. It goes off at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then the water is just right below freezing, or right above freezing. And so every morning, after my just time in silence and after my exercise, I get into the freezer. So I have my trusted camera woman here, Tehila, and I'll just show you what that looks like. So I got my stopwatch here. Do I want to do this? Who wants to go into freezing cold water? But then every day I look at something that I don't want to do, and then I choose to do what I know is right. And so I go in for 2.5 minutes one way, and then the last 30 seconds, full immersion, and it's cold. So here we go. So the water's so cold that I can't put my toes fully in the water. It's kind of like floating in the Dead Sea if the Dead Sea were in the North Pole. So I just now stay here in the cold. My body is in total panic mode now. It's like, oh my gosh, your body's in freezing cold water. Quickly, help this idiot get out of the water. And now it's sending all of the energy, the hormones, the endorphins, what are they called? The cold shock proteins? Is that what they're called, Tina?
Cold shock proteins.
And they're sending it all over everywhere now to help me get out of this freezing cold water. And I just kind of absorb it. And the world is a painful place, and I'm just kind of like accepting that as the reality. Accepting it, being in it. And so what we'll do is we'll fast forward this just a little bit so you don't have to sit here watching me suffer.
Oh, hey, Jeremy, I forgot to press record. You're going to have to do this all over again.
That's like... That's the way to start the morning. It will change your day, no question about it. So now you know I'm an intense guy. I think that's pretty clear now. I'm an intense guy. It was hysterical watching your guys' faces at that. That was so fun for me. This is such an entertaining fellowship. Where can you find a fellowship that is this entertaining? And so but I want you to know that getting into the freezing water, it helps keep my intensity alive. And it doesn't feel good while I'm doing it, but afterwards it feels so amazing. I wouldn't do it if it didn't feel so good afterwards. It's like a happy pill in an energy drink without any bad side effects, totally natural. And it's also like it is the way of our ancients to immerse in water every morning for purification, and that stuff
purifies you. I think that that's clear right now. But, I used to get sick every winter, and it seems to charge up your immune system. That's in the discipline of the practice of self-authority, just every morning, the self-control. It's just really beneficial. And so every morning I teach my body and I remind myself, who's the Baal Habayit? Who's the master of this house here? Who's the master of the domain called my life? It's not my fears, because I'm scared to go in the water every single morning. And it's not my body. It's not the master. It definitely doesn't want to go in that discomfort. It's my higher self that wants me to have my best day. So I set that straight, and the lower desires, they have to get in line with the higher desire. And that's how I start off my day. And it's just a qualitatively better day. And I feel like I just have a moral responsibility to bring my A game to life as much as I possibly can. And so that's the answer about my cold.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Gimpel. A lot of people want to know exactly what the Land of Israel Fellowship is and what members receive when they join. So let me explain. The Land of Israel Fellowship is a global online community with hundreds of members from over 40 countries around the world. There are live sessions and gatherings that create a direct personal connection to the Land of Israel and to lovers of Israel from around the world. There's no online gathering that I'm familiar with that is connected to the Land of Israel, that unites and brings together such a diverse group of people, backgrounds, and nationalities. It feels like prophecy. It feels like something we need in these times, like a window in to a better future on the horizon. There's a divine unity we experience every week in our fellowship broadcast. We heard these amazing teachings from an authentic Hebrew and Israel perspective, and our jaws drop. Not only because they ring so true and are such a blessing, because they are so consistent with what we believe. These Sunday morning gatherings are nothing less than a house of prayer for all nations. Cindy Lowe, the United States of America. The Land of Israel Fellowship is an amazing resource for learning Torah, the Bible, and the prophets, unfiltered and uncensored, directly from the Land of Israel. We've been studying Torah for almost 20 years, but we feel we are stepping into it more than ever and seeing new depth and dimensions to Scripture. We're encouraged more and more every week. Callan Ardell, USA. Members receive access to all the archives in the library of teachings on every portion of the Torah, the biblical feast, Hebrew prayer, prophecy, sessions on the ancient wisdom of the prophets of Israel to help us navigate through these turbulent times. These sessions are so rich. I re-listen to each, and truly each session is the best one yet. Tehila is a tremendous asset, and the teachings Ari shares are so rich. I've read the Bible so many times, and I've known the things you are teaching. The Hebrew understanding is what Christians have missed for centuries. Sister Georgian from Germany. The Land of Israel Fellowship is truly unique because it's built upon personal relationships with the teachers of the fellowship, myself, Rabbi Ari Abramowitz, and Tehila Gimpel. Every member has direct access to the staff 24/6 via email or direct WhatsApp to ask questions, to comment, to connect directly to all the teachers. And over the last years, we've connected to some of the most beautiful people on the planet. So if you want to find out more and join the Land of Israel Fellowship, you can click on the link below. And if you want to try it out for just a month, you can email fellowship@thelandofisrael.com and we'll hook you up. I hope to see you. Shalom from the mountains of Judea.